Hey everybody, it is Mike, 55 years young, here with a deep thinking video about the system, the matrix, this social contract that you never agreed with, you never agreed to. I'm sure you never agreed with it either. You were just born into it, okay? And this guy, Timothy Ward, I watched a lot of his videos before, never done a reaction video, but he's going to talk about how we can escape, or I'm going to talk about how we can escape, or why. Why do you want to get out of the system? Why do you want to get out of the matrix? Well, you may not understand how fundamentally flawed this is, but let's get right into it.
I almost started to call it a secret, but it's not a secret. We all know it. We just don't think about it.
Yeah,
it's been actively like hidden from us. That topic I want to talk about today is the fact that the system is dependent on us. The system is dependent on the worker/consumer to keep going.
Yeah, and I really like his background. I think he might be in a national park. I like where he is right now. And yeah, he's exactly right. And I've alluded to it and straight out said some of my analysis videos or reaction videos I've done in recent times about the similarity between the situation we're in right now and the movie Ants from Disney. I got to go watch that again. And basically, the ants realized they outnumbered everybody else, and they eventually just took over. That's what's going to have to happen here, a true grassroots movement. And it may be possible. Let's hear what Tim has to say.
If we all stop working and consuming, the system collapses.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that'd be horrible. But the reason we're even talking about this is because the system
is so flawed. The system is degenerative on almost every level. Now, Tim's going to get into some of the reasons why here, and I'm going to bring my own thoughts into this. But you want the system to go away. You really do. The more you take a deep dive into the rabbit hole, you realize how screwed up it really is and how few people, if any, are benefiting.
The system is not set up to benefit us, the worker/consumer.
Yep.
So we have a system that we empower, that we keep going, that is actively taking away like our time, energy, and wealth from us.
Yes.
So we are powering a system that is like taking our power away from us.
It's bad.
The more power we give it, the less power we have.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and a lot of the reasons why, because I'm 55, I was born in 1970, it didn't used to be like this. The gap between inflation and wages was fairly narrow. Life was good, especially if you go back to the end all be all time of the 1950s in the U.S. Everybody could afford to have a decent life. Now it's like nobody can ever even afford to buy a house. Why would you want to participate in this nightmare? And how did we get here? Why did it turn out this way? I think we're going to get into that a little bit here.
But here's the clever little situation that's developed. Since they know that the system is dependent on us, what they have cleverly done is made it seem like we're dependent on the system. Yeah. Actually, in a healthy society, in a healthy system.
Yeah, actually, I think a lot of the reasons why some people, and actually it could be many people, feel like we're dependent on the system is straight up fear. Straight up fear. And just, I guess, someone truly thinking that somebody else is smarter who designed the system, somebody has my best interest that they're looking out for, but you'll find the more you take a deep dive into this, that is just absolutely not true.
It's like symbiotic, that you help each other. But like in our system, we're the backbone of it.
Yeah, it should be regenerative, and we encourage and we really are working towards regenerative systems and solutions, especially in our plantbaseddiet.org nonprofit. You can check out that channel. But the way it is now, it's just totally degenerative. It didn't used to be like this. It used to be like people wanted to participate in this system that the U.S. has, and still some do. But for the most people who are in the U.S., who are multi-generational, it now seems painfully obvious that life would be better in another country.
But they've cleverly made it seem like we need them. Yeah. They need us, but they've made it seem like we need them. Yeah. Right? And that's why I want to talk about in today's video how we use the system to break free from the system.
Yeah, think about it. Social Security, health care. You need these things. Oh, these are highly complex. You couldn't ever comprehend fully, and you could never do it on your own, right? Wrong.
But first, let's talk about how they make it seem like we need them. They do this by getting us like as deeply indebted to the system as possible.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, we all start out, most of us,
Yeah. So if you are in debt to the system, you've heard this before, the lender is slave to the master. That means you're going to have to take out a massive mortgage to be able to buy a house here in the U.S., thanks to the cost of housing being astronomical and the near and total annihilation of affordable housing. It's just there isn't any anymore. All right. So that combined with, got to go to college, get a degree in something, it's going to cost an outrageous amount of money. And at 18, you're forced to decide this, and you're stuck in debt for decades and decades. So you become entrapped is what happens. And of course, healthcare costs so much and everybody's sick. So you look around, everybody's sick. Well, I have to be part of this healthcare system because I'm going to end up sick like everybody else. I mean, we're the wealthiest country in the world. And look, we can't even figure this out. It just means that they've got you trapped. They got you. It's all this is fear-based, and they get you trapped into it early on.
We ain't got no money. Yeah, you got to go work in the system to get some money.
Yeah,
but that wasn't enough,
currency.
Right? That's not enough. Because, like, yeah, if you go in the system, equal, you might get up out of there soon. So, why do you think they came up with, like, the ever-increasing cost of college?
Yeah.
And the messaging of, like, hey, if you don't go to college.
Well, the college message is bad. And there is some value still, I believe, if you want to be, let's say, a licensed medical doctor or medical professional, you want to become a licensed attorney. These kind of professions that require like hyper-specific training, then yes. But everybody else, there's way more opportunity somewhere else. And the thing is, one of the reasons why why college tuition, university tuition has ballooned has been because of the availability of easy financing. Whenever easy financing is available, the cost of that item goes way up. And guess what? You can now finance your groceries or anything else you want can easily be financed. And this is getting really very concerning for sure.
College, you're going to be a failure in the system. So a lot of people, 18, 19, 20, early, you're young. You don't even know that much yet.
Yeah, you don't.
They start out in the system before they even had a job before a lot of kids, before they even made $1.
Just so you know, yes, you can declare bankruptcy. I've seen how easy it is to declare bankruptcy in this flawed system. I've seen how everybody gets relieved of their debts through bankruptcy. It's like automatic, no matter what you did. No one's going to review your stuff and say, oh, you didn't do as much as you could, or you just gave up. They're not going to say that. You're going to get your debts relinquished, released, except for student loans. They are unforgivable. They are not erasable in bankruptcy. So just keep that in mind. Probably you may have never heard that before.
They are indebted to the system. Before they've ever made $1, they owe tens of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Now you got to be in the system.
You have to.
You need the system to pay that money back. Okay?
Yep.
Go to college. You get in debt, a lot of people. Got to get a job when you get out to pay the money back. Now you need a car to get to the job because public transportation, especially like in America, is horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe where you live is not so bad, but in America, not that good. Some cities, yes, but in most cases, no. So you got to get a car so you can get to work.
More money.
Pay back the money you already owe. First job.
I don't want to forget here that new cars are the latest scam. So much of a scam. Now, if you buy a full battery electric vehicle that's well designed like a Tesla and you buy one of the lower price models, not a scam. But everything else is a scam. And even late model used cars are a scam. You'd have to go back to 2015 at the newest to be able to get a decent internal combustion engine car that's not a scam. When I say scam, I mean they have to design these things in such a way because of the regulations by our government that require lower emissions and higher fuel economy. It just creates this incredibly complex. Every year the systems get more complex, more finicky, more fragile, that the internal combustion engine is just going to fall flat on its face. And it's unbelievably expensive to do anything with. like labor rates for mechanics are like $200 an hour. And even if you are a mechanic, you hardly see even a fraction of that as your salary. It's just the whole car system. It used to be interesting and fun. And now it's just a super expensive nightmare. I would never buy a new internal combustion engine vehicle. And again, probably nothing that's younger than 10 years old at this point.
So that's two bills. Then they come with the messaging of like, hey, the best asset you can ever buy is a house. Don't rent. Renting's bad. If you're going to be successful, you need to buy a house or a condo. So that's another big bill you get, right?
Yeah.
You see this?
Well, if you could have gotten in when the prices crashed after 2008 mortgage crisis, like I did, I bought a few, but nobody had any money then. But that would have been the time to get in. And now we're like on the other end of the extreme right now. It's super bad. There's very little value in buying a house other than the concern that they may continue to go up.
See how they're slowly, with the advertising and the messaging and different things they're doing, basically making you take steps to where you are dependent on the system.
Yes.
And then they got you.
They got you.
And then they got you. And it's beneficial for them when they've got you, because the more you work in the system, the more wealth you send up top to them. That's the game. They don't really care what you do with your life. But if you stay trapped in the system, they get enriched.
Yes, and think about this taxes, okay? There's hidden taxes on everything. Even if you didn't have to pay any income tax, there'd be sales tax on everything you buy, of course. There's taxes on all kinds of things like registration fees. There all kinds of, like if you look at your mobile phone bill, all kinds of little fees for this, that, and the other thing. Gasoline, if you're still buying that. I think most of that is taxes, or a large percent. Taxes that are hidden in everything you buy. Food, you want to buy food? You got to pay tax in most states. I think in the state of Maryland, if it's not prepared food, it's actually tax-free, which is awesome. That's a great incentive to eat whole plants, but almost nobody has that.
They get empowered.
And by the way, this whole tax thing, I heard someone recently say, hey, just tax the billionaires because they have so much money, they can afford to be taxed. And I'm like, okay, you're going to tax them, which is fine, I suppose. But where's the money going to go? Who is going to decide where this money goes? Is it going to be the government that's run by the large corporations and their lobbyists? Because if it is, I already know that's not going to work. That's the problem.
The older you get, they start setting in with the messaging of like, oh, you're 27 and you're not married. What's wrong with you? You don't have kids. Something's wrong with you. You get married, you have kids, you have a family. You're even deeper in the system.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of this stuff. There's nothing wrong with college. There's nothing wrong with a car. There's nothing wrong with working, having a family. Nothing wrong with any of that.
Well, having a family is fine, but doing the other things are not required. It's just that's part of the system here. You can opt out of that in certain ways.
The problem comes when they push these things on you and make you feel like you have to do them at a certain level within certain time periods.
Pressure.
Instead of just letting people naturally figure out when they want to do all this stuff, is pushed on you, especially the college thing, at a very young age when you don't know no better.
I suppose so.
And it's pushed on you like there's something wrong with you if you don't do these things by these certain times. Fast forward, the average person by the time they're 30 is like so indebted to the system.
Oops. I exited out. I couldn't see what I was doing. And guess what I did? I got rid of my window. Let's bring it back if I can. All right, I got it. We are back. They got them for the rest of their lives, I think he's about to say. Because, you don't know any better when you're younger. You learn a lot. You gain a lot of wisdom as you get the years under you.
The rest of their life. And then they start with the retirement talk. It's just like, oh, if you don't have $1 million saved by the time you retire, it's going to be horrible. You're going to be living in the sewers under Las Vegas. Oh, So they started on that to get you like, oh, I better work harder.
Okay, well, that is important, okay? You don't want to have to struggle, but do you need to live in a country that's super expensive? The U.S. is like the premium place now. It's like the expensive model. And he's not even talking about the healthcare system. That's one of the biggest scams going. I call it a racket, although it doesn't have to be that way, and you can opt out of it. The healthcare, if you want to learn more about that, go to my other channel. plantbaseddiet.org on YouTube, which is plantbasedvideos.info. If you want to type it into a browser, it'll take you straight there. But the problem, I got to say something a little bit here about the healthcare system, because I don't think he's going to get into it, is that everybody's sick. 90% of people in the U.S., 90% of medical costs in the U.S. right now in 2025 are due to non-communicable diseases. It's super bad, super bad. It's a completely broken system, and you don't have to participate in it. You can opt out of that. There's ways.
At this job and really boost up my 401k, which, by the way, they took away pensions. So now you have to have we have 401ks.
You have to save on your own. Yeah.
Another example, more dependent on the system. I got to stay at this job.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, back in the day, not too long ago, everybody would work for the same company. It seems like, I don't know, for 30 years. And at the end of that, they'd have what's called a defined benefit retirement plan or a pension, which means you get X number of dollars per month for the rest of your life. It's a way of taking care of your workers. But now, most of the unions are gone or ineffective. It would be nice to bring unions back to get these pensions back. But now that we're in what they call the gig economy, which is you go from one gig to the next, you don't have benefits of any kind. It's almost like people have gotten used to that. But the problem is, it's even harder to survive when you get older if you're not wise with the way you handle your finances. It's more important than ever to be able to do that. So the problem is people aren't told this till it's too late.
Got to load up my 401k because I need to have millions of dollars when I go to retire. All these clever little ways, they make it so that we're so dependent on this system that is bankrupting all of us, that we just have to stay working at it basically until we die.
Yep.
Or if we're really fortunate, at 67, we get to, hopefully we got enough money, we can do what we want.
Social Security.
And what this video is really about is using the system to break free from the system. But first we had to identify the need to break free from the system. Because the average person just...
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't bring up health costs. The condition of health in the U.S., the richest country in the world, how we're all chronically ill. The system is completely degenerative. Now, we have some ways, some ideas, and we're kind of working outside the system, outside the matrix. And, if you want to learn more, just go to lacasamasalta.org. You can see our house, lacasamasalta.org. It's on Airbnb. Very inexpensive, whole plants, no chemicals. It's totally outside the system, and it's all about your health and enjoying life.
This goes along with the system. The average person thinks the system works. The average person is like, oh, if I just work harder, if I just stay on this job longer,
is that true?
If I just
Let me know in the
tell
comments.
me to do more, then I'll get what I'm going for. Now, when you really ask the average person what they're going for, a lot of times we don't know, but they dangle that carrot and we go after it. I can be a success too. What does success mean to you? They might ramble off all those things we listed that they've told us, will make us successful. But at the end of the day, all we're really doing, even if we achieve those things, a lot of times they don't make us happy. We look successful, but we don't feel successful because we don't care about that stuff a lot of times. But also too, even if we achieve those things, at what cost? At what price? I guarantee you can walk up to a lot of on paper successful people and they will tell you if they could do it over again, they might have switched it up because it wasn't worth it. Maybe some people it is, but I think for a lot of people, it's not worth it. I think we can look and identify and more people are doing this. More and more people are realizing bro, this thing is not set up for me.
So
for
what are you
whatever
gonna
reason. For most of us, just because we're not one of the elites.
I'm curious
so it's
as to
this
what he
system
has
is
to
not
say.
set up for me. So I'm gonna break free from it.
How?
But what we really the only thing we really have is the system, because it permeates so much of our world. So we have to learn to use the system to break free from the system. And I think I've got a really good analogy to illustrate how you do this.
All right,
I love using slavery analogies. Anybody who follows the channel, I use a lot of slavery analogies because I think it hits home. People sit up and listen when you say slavery.
Wage slavery.
Okay, so imagine you are
American.
enslaved on a plantation and you decided you had enough. I'm getting up out of here. However, in order to run away, you need food, you need supplies, you need extra clothes, whatever, lots of things. Because you're going to be on the road running away for days, weeks, maybe even a month or so. Excuse me. So you need supplies. However, as a slave, all you ever get is like what they give you. You know what I mean? Like you don't have nothing. You can't just go down to the Walmart and be like, hey, I need some stuff to run away.
You're in debt like an indentured servant.
You can't do that. So like all you have is what they give you. Whatever massa gives you, what you have to do in order to like get the things you need to have like your bug out escape bag is you got to take from the little bit of food they do give you. You got to take some of that, put it aside.
Save your money.
The little bit
Invest.
of clothes they do give you, you got to take some of that, put it aside.
Live beneath your means.
Any
Live
little
below
thing that
your
they
means.
give you that you can use, you got to sacrifice now. You got
Plus,
to
there's
put
a lot
some of
less
that
stress when you
aside
do that.
so that you have what you need or as much as you can get of what you need for when that day comes when you escape. You know, so it may take you a long time to get together enough of what you need to say, okay, I think I can make it up north with this, right? And I feel like that's how it is today, okay? Like we only get so much down there to the job. You know, we're in the system, we're working, we got these bills we got to pay. After, you know, we only get so much down there to the job. And then after, especially these days where prices seem to be going up, whatever. After, you know, we've put aside the money to survive. You know what I mean? We only got so much left. And sometimes that's not a lot. For some people, very little. But I think we have to use, even if it means sacrificing even more now, I think we got to start using the time, the energy, you know, the money we have left over after we went to work in the system, done what we had to do in the system. We have to start using that in the best way possible, setting it aside.
Okay, I think what he's getting at here, and I may just stop the video here, I don't think he's going much further with this, unfortunately, is just live beneath your means. That's what he's saying. And save and invest, not just save, but invest. Invest wisely. Get some help, get a mentor, somebody. Take Financial Peace University, at least to get started. If you've never been able to save and invest any money and you think you can't, you always can. You can always do more. There's always something you can do. It's harder than ever, for sure, because there's more opportunity than ever, actually. So that's the flip side. But he's just saying, I don't know, kind of live in the system here in the U.S. He's not mentioning going abroad. I would say consider going to another country, consider living an alternative lifestyle altogether. Maybe he'll get to that. I don't know, but I don't see him going that way in the video, so I'm just going to stop this here. And I'd like to hear your ideas or your experiences. If you've kind of gotten out of the system or out of the matrix, what have you done? And the reason I talk about our La Casa Mas Alta down in Tierra Frutas, Ecuador, is because you can do that over there. Very inexpensive. Once you save and invest and have a little bit of money, you can do that. You can live, as long as you make the right choices, probably the healthiest, happiest, less stressful existence, or least stressful existence, as long as you plan it right. That's the thing. Planning is very important. So you have to be intentional about what you're doing. But I highly recommend that everyone do this. And the reason why is, like we said in the beginning of this video, all the systems out there right now that we are forced through this social contract that we didn't sign, they're all degenerative. They're all harming everybody involved. So I'd be interested to read your comments. And thank you so much for watching this video. Share it with somebody that can benefit, and I'll see you in the next one.